Hey guys, welcome to our Meaty Sexy, releasing our subconscious sexual blocks to weight release. Got some super juicy downloads for you today. Let's start off with our opening prayer. I'm just opening the chat box now. And then we're just going to go deeper into this topic. And today I'm going to talk about body dissociation. So, not being able to be inside your body or being disconnected from your body because of sexual abuse. So, you can't feel when you're hungry, you can't feel when you're full. You just have this either this numbness or this constant loneliness or sadness going on. Hey, beautiful. And you don't know why. And your clients may experience this as well. And this is very normal when it comes to sexual abuse or physical violence, where the person enters the state of dissociation from their body. And they may even experience themselves as floating above their body or literally being up and being able to look down. Okay. And that's also known as an out of body experience. And it's very normal when it comes to deep trauma responses. So we're going to be talking about that, this physical dissociation, this disidentification with the body when the body goes through a traumatic state as a way of surviving and as a way of numbing the pain that you otherwise wouldn't know how to carry or experience because of that situation or dissociation. Okay, and how that blocks us from being able to release the weight. Hey, beautiful. How that blocks us from being able to release the weight and return to our perfect, vibrant health and energy. And that's the biggest reason why I'm touching on this topic of weight release, is because it's the biggest number one contributing factor to autoimmune disease, to cancers, to early deaths, period. So it seems like a superficial issue. It seems like it's about vanity, but that's how it's sold. That's how it's marketed. The reality is it's 100% a health issue. And we're looking at why, in a world where we have more knowledge and information than ever before, we're still harming our bodies, right? And that's where the spiritual response to very often the superficial materialistic way of looking at bodies is how thin can we get them? How beautiful can we get them? How can we get our body to look, instead of actually being with, how do I love my body the way it is? And how do I return to that connection with my true divine loving self, so that my body will naturally return to its natural healthy state, and I will stop punishing my body. I will stop harming my body. I will stop sabotaging my success or my health. Under the weird belief that it's freedom, or under the weird belief that it's because I'm getting to do what I want, instead of actually understanding that this is a distortion, right? This is pain. So let's open this up with our opening prayer, and then feel free to post your questions. Where do you feel dissociated from your body, right? Where, because of sexuality, or whether it's because, like for me, for example, the most obvious place where I feel dissociated is where I would refuse to look in the mirror, right? Whenever I was overweight and I was younger, I would walk past a mirror and I would avoid it. Like my eyes would be looking at the floor, and I wouldn't look at the mirror. I wouldn't acknowledge that I had a sexual presence in the room. I was terrible. You know how some people have, a radar for people that are attracted to them? I was the absence of a radar, because I had such a strong belief that I wasn't attractive. I had such a strong belief that I was ugly, that I was totally dissociated, not just from my body, but from the feeling of being attractive and the reality that this could exist, right, for me. So that's another way that you can dissociate. You can dissociate from your body, but you can also dissociate from your feelings about yourself. Okay. So where do you feel that? Where do you feel like you can't connect with your body even when you want to? You can't feel your feelings even when you want to. Pop that into the chat box, and I will do an energy reading and a scan for you. And we'll see what your core beliefs are around that before we do our muscle testing. So guys, let's do our opening prayer. O Great Spirit, Father Sky, Mother Earth, the winds, the waters, my Father, my Mother, Atanaha, all it is. We thank you for our lives, and we thank you for these good people. We thank you for all that we are and all that we are to become. We dedicate our time spent together and our relationships with one another to you. We ask that our suffering be ended, that our pain be lifted, to the love and to the peace that lay beyond. Aho, Amen, Namaste. Namaste. Okay, guys. So let's take a really nice deep look at this together. So, boom, 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 boom. Very often, right? Oh, got a question. I refuse to buy myself nice things when I'm overweight. Yeah. I'm like punishing myself for it, and I don't deserve it for being overweight. Yeah, I've literally had people have whole wardrobes and dress sizes that don't fit them, because that wardrobe is for like a reward when they feel better. So that's a very vulnerable share, and it's an incredible point. Yeah, there's a lot of people won't let themselves buy nice things for themselves when they're overweight. A lot of people won't let themselves enter into a relationship before they're overweight. They won't do a Facebook Live. They won't let anybody see them naked or have sex with anybody. So what are you depriving yourself because you're overweight? And where do you feel dissociated from your body or from your divine life purpose, or unworthy of your divine life purpose or your body because you're overweight? I want to hear, I want to know. Okay. So what we're really talking about today is dissociation of the body, is fear of the body. And when a child is abused, the body can be perceived as the betrayer, or the body can be perceived as too painful, too dangerous. Okay, the reason that we are able to be hurt. So children experience their world through their senses in deep somatic and emotional ways. Another one saying all of that not being visible because of it. Yeah, not being visible because of it is a massive one, that I need to be invisible. Okay, so when we're abused, their body can respond to the physical stimuli, perhaps some pleasure or arousal, and this becomes extremely confusing and shameful. So yeah, if you receive sexual attention from someone that you didn't want to receive sexual attention from, it can still be arousing, it can still be enjoyable. And then especially if you were a child or a teenager, that can bring on a lot of shame or fear and this deep belief that we asked for it or we wanted it, when that's not the case at all. And that you're allowed to say no to things that you I suppose desire, but that wouldn't be for your highest and best good, right? You can say no to the cake at the restaurant, and you can say no to the hot guy if you know that that person doesn't have integrity, or that that person isn't a decent human being. And there's a lot of pleasure, especially for women, that comes from this idea of not having any sexual responsibility and complete surrender, because we're taught that sexuality is bad, right? So the body can also be perceived as dead as the child continues to leave the body to avoid pain and watches above the body as if it was an object, right, to be used for others. So sometimes you might have the belief that your body is already dead, or that your body is being your body isn't yours, it belongs to somebody else. And we've covered that in the last two Me Too Sexy lives as well, this belief that your body is property or that it's not yours. And this can create huge dissociation responses in both children and adults. And it will create this, I suppose, almost lack of memory sometimes, inability to remember, this inability to focus, this inability to connect with others. And when the body is primarily used as an object, its importance is diminished and degraded. Armoring of the body can occur in a rigid stance, slightly held in, excessive weight for protection, and are living in only part of the body, usually from the neck up, to help a person function on a very mental level, not connecting to the heart or the feelings, or not connecting to the root chakras or below. Right? So sometimes you'll notice people only carry weight from the hips up, or they only carry weight from I'm one of the ones that carry weights on my legs and my bum, right? So from the hips down. And this tells you that which part of the body they're dissociated from, because I'm very comfortable in my upper body, but exactly around the sexual chakras, around my thighs, around my legs, around the places where I feel sexual desire, that's the place where I have the water weight. That's the place where, I have the retention of toxins, because exactly that's the place in my consciousness where I still feel embarrassed or ashamed on a subconscious level, and I'm still holding sexual shame. Hi everybody, hi Team Sky, welcome. So it creates this appearance that we look together, but we're actually numbing or dissociating. And that's where a lot of people come in thinking it's going to be a small healing, and it's actually a massive healing. And it changes their life forever, because they just are completely numb to how much they're holding on to. When the body is threatened by abuse, it feels it cannot escape. A dissociative reaction can occur to prepare for injury. Okay. This is what happens when an out-of-body experience, or clinically known as leaving the body sensation, where the child may report watching the events from the outside. The state will return when triggered through memory, sound, smell, or taste. It can also happen because of drugs. So very often when we're abused sexually, especially as a child, and even as women, because we're given date rape drugs, etc., we're given a drug that dissociates or disconnects us from our body and takes away our ability to remember what happened or to give consent, right? So very often women are abused when they're drunk, or they're abused when they're on alternative substances, or they're high. And it's the same thing with little children, right? Because if you can't remember, you can't tell. So very often there are these strange dissociative states, and we don't understand why we feel so spaced out or so distracted. So I make myself busy and distract her. Yep, I left my body all the time as a child, like I was looking down on myself. Yep. So this is a dissociative response. This is exactly where being disconnected from the body, being dissociated from the body, was making us safe in traumatic situations, right? And that can be emotional abuse, it can be physical abuse. And that's what's important to understand about sexual abuse, is that just like domestic violence, sexual abuse can be emotional, just like it can be physical, right? You can sexually intimidate and harass somebody with words. You can sexually intimidate or harass somebody by making them watch inappropriate videos, like making children watch pornography, or making children read erotica, or making children watch you undress or watch you masturbate. You don't actually have to touch somebody to sexually abuse them, right? And a lot of people don't realize that. It also doesn't have to be from an adult to a child. It can be from child to child. It can be going into the the restroom at school and having a boy expose himself to you, or it can be when I was a teenager, it can be like the fact that the boys would put their hands through the back of your shirt and they would unhook your bra, and then literally your nipples were showing through your shirt, and you had this huge amount of shame around your breasts and around particular parts of your body and around being sexualized in public. So not all sexual abuse happens in private and dark corners with family members. Sexual abuse can happen in very public environments, and it can happen in very social environments. I know I've worked with a couple of actresses who were sexually abused during auditions. They literally had people put their famous other actors or actresses put their hands up their genitals, etc., during auditions. And I've had actors and actresses also say that they were pushed by the director, not even by their other actor, to do things they weren't comfortable doing with sexually to get a particular scene in a movie, or to create a particular energy. So there's a lot of different ways that sexual abuse can take place. And when that happens, especially if we don't have a label for it or words for it, or we fear that we're going to lose a financial opportunity, lose recognition, lose potentially our job, or even if we feel like we won't have the support of our colleagues, it's very easy to disconnect from the body and just focus on getting it done, because then it's finished. I've also had a lot of women have no idea that them disconnecting and when they're having sex with their husbands and they don't want to have sex with their husbands, they've stopped enjoying it a long time ago, and they're just faking an orgasm to get out of there as quickly as possible, is a form of sexual abuse, right? They don't know that, they don't understand that, but the body still experiences sexual abuse. And what do? They just clock out, and they're literally counting, it's been 10 minutes, 15 minutes, half an hour, now I can pretend to have my orgasm and then we'll be finished. And then their brain, it goes, oh, it's just half an hour, it will make him happy. Same thing with men fake orgasms too, girls, sorry to break it to you, but men 100% fake orgasms too. I started loving my body and feel safe inside it since I watched one of your Facebook lives. Oh, well done you. Sometimes downloads are enough. I call them the miracle downloads. Sometimes downloads and channeling healings are more than enough. And that's a big part of why I do them. I've had people have instant healings on their finances, instant healings on their bodies, instant healings on their mental health issues just from watching lives or getting downloads or doing muscle testing. And they didn't even need a healing. So 100%, Creator works in incredible ways, and so do your angels. So I'm so happy that you feel safe in your body now. So deeply happy that you feel safe in your body. For my privacy/safety, I've sent a private message. If you could please look into that. I'll have a look after, my love. But yeah, 100%. It's a very intimate topic. It's a very, very intimate topic, and I hear you. But that's also why I'm talking about it in public, because if it's a sexual block to you releasing weight, if it's a sexual message about your body not being able to release weight because of sexual abuse, it makes sense that it's intimate for you. But it also is why I'm talking about it publicly, because so many people don't know that that's why they're afraid of allowing their body to return to a healthy weight, right? And they don't know how to handle the sexual attention that they'll get, and they also don't know that it actually is an act of sexual abuse. So they know, their body knows that if they release the weight, they'll start getting attention from their husband again, but they don't want that attention, right? Their body knows that if they release the weight, that they'll be attractive again and that they'll want to enter a soulmate relationship, but they still haven't healed the sexual abuse from the last one, and they haven't even acknowledged that that was sexual abuse, right? Because he just like he didn't hit me, well, he didn't rape me, right? And or she didn't rape me. And I've had men had this one as well. Particularly, I've had a couple of wealthy men, but I've had women give them drugs like Viagra and then have sex with them or make love with them when they didn't want to have sex or make love because the relationship was ending and that person didn't want to lose them. So sexual abuse goes both ways. It really, really does. And that's important. It can happen on both sides, and it can happen in intimate relationships. It can happen in an abusive dynamic between teacher and student. like in yogi studios or in spiritual environments, especially where sexuality is profoundly repressed. It can happen between siblings. It can happen between friends. And I want to open this conversation because if you're holding on to excess weight that's literally damaging your health and damaging your body, and you've never been allowed to voice this, you've never been allowed to I did the question on YouTube chat. That may be why they haven't found you, darling, because we're doing our best. This, as you can see, this is the first time I've done live on YouTube for a very long time. But they're used to Facebook Messenger. We're not used to YouTube Messenger yet. We'll go and have a hunt for you. Don't worry. But we're very good with Facebook. We're still learning about Instagram and YouTube. They're not our forte yet, but we are learning. We are growing. Bear with us. But yeah, it's really important that you know that it can be subconscious blocks to you expressing your sexuality. Okay. Now, very often this leaving the body sensation, as you start to heal it and repair it, what triggered the memory, sound, taste, smell, it may even be like the room or an environment or a color, etc., will start to return to you as you ask to remember what happened to you, right? And it is 100% possible to heal this stuff. Okay. The child may also appear that they are daydreaming, lose contact with reality, become involved in their inner world to the point that they don't pay attention, not in class, and not just in class, but to other people in their life. So, for example, with me, I had a lot of imaginary friends, right, when I was a little kid, more imaginary friends than real friends, because I'd been through what's called physical trauma. And I just dissociated. I didn't want to connect with humans. I didn't want to connect with other kids. I just wanted to be with beings that I trusted, and I only trusted spiritual beings. Now, I didn't know that they were spiritual beings at the time. I just thought they were my imagination. And that's what my mother would say. She said, you have a very vivid imagination. But my imaginary friends were more real to me than real people. And that was a sign of trauma. So that's another way that dissociation from the body can show up, is you have very powerful relationships with people that aren't inside the body. And I once met a woman at one of my husband's workshops who had literally a soulmate relationship with somebody on the astral planes and had never had a healthy relationship in this life with a real living human being, because she had too much trauma. She was too scared. So it was easier to hold on to a relationship from another plane of existence than to create a real one. So that's how, a sexual trauma can show up. So guys, we're going to do some muscle testing, right, to see if you have these beliefs, and then we're going to release those beliefs, okay, so that we can feel a whole lot better, because I can feel how much energy is coming up with just me talking about these topics. And that's why I'm talking about them, because I talk about them and it comes up in your energy, and as it comes up in your energy, then we can muscle test, and then we can clear this. Okay, then we can clear this. Now, you can see how deep we're going down the rabbit hole. This is just one of the topics that we're going to be covering in Weight Loss from Within starting in January. This is a very deep space, right? Anytime it comes to healing the body, you have to get real, you have to have radically honest conversations, and you have to have a safe container where you're with other people in this vortex of healing that can hold you and catch you as these emotions are coming up, so that you A, don't feel alone, but B, you don't sabotage your process, right? Because so much of trauma is about isolation and being alone. And so much of what's happening in the world right now with these mandatory lockdowns is causing us to be in more isolation and being alone. A huge part of healing is joining communities so that you're held as you heal and grow. So if you're interested in that, drop us a private message. We're starting on the 10th of January, and the early bird is running to just after Christmas. So if you want to know about that, drop me a message. And yes, we do have payment plans. I can see people pop up in private chat. We do. And I'd love to talk with you to see if it's a good fit for you as well. Okay, let's do our muscle testing, guys. So yes, your body should tilt gently forwards. No, your body should tilt gently backwards. Good. Then remember, you have to repeat after me, okay, to muscle test properly. It is safe to be in my body. My body is my enemy. I hate my body. Others hate my body. Others will hate my body. I am dissociated from my body. My body is dead. I am accident prone to know I'm alive. I'm accident prone to know I'm connected to my body. I have to cut myself off from my body to be safe. If I connect to my body, I'll drown in my pain. If I connect to my body, I'll die. I have to armor my body to protect it from abuse. I have to armor my sexuality to protect it from abuse. I always have to be prepared for the next attack. My body will be used to hurt me. I have to be heavy to protect myself from others. I have to be heavy to protect myself from my sexuality. It's only safe to be in my soul. It's only safe to be out of body. I have to hide my body's sexuality to survive. I have to sell my body to know I'm worthy of anything. My sexuality is a currency. My family owns my body. My partner owns my body. My religion owns my body. If I express my sexuality, I will be in danger. If I connect to my body, I will be in danger. Okay, so who had those beliefs, guys? Who had those beliefs? Because that was a lot of beliefs. Tell me who had those. Which ones came up for you? Which ones came up for you? And I'm just going to check on my phone so I can see you all, because it's a bit slow on this Restream device. Whoop. I can hear me, but I can't see you. Now, Dee's saying I am dissociated from my body. Yep, I can see you. I can hear you. Ha, I only had a couple, which I think is a win. Good for you. Religion owns my body. Time to let go of that. Ownership of the body can be by religion, a partner, family, a particular god or goddess. You only have to watch Phantom of the Opera to see that happening, right? Past life marriages as well, and sometimes an actual faith. So whenever you're doing religion, you want a muscle test for all of them: Muslim, pagan, Christian, Jewish. You want a muscle test for all of them. You want a muscle test for all of them. Okay, so I only had a couple, which I think is a win. My religion owns my body. Time to let go. Yeah, but do the digging. Yeah, do the digging. I had two. I don't remember which ones. Well, that's good. That's good. It's good to remember them so that then you can see if they've gone after we remove the beliefs. So guys, if you'd like these beliefs removed, okay, if you'd like these beliefs removed, just say yes, and I'm going to pull them all out in all the different levels. Okay, so creator, it's commanded to pull these beliefs out on all 7 levels and replace them with unconditional love. Thank you. It's done, it's done, it's done. Show us. Gosh, I can feel the hearts of some of you watching. Some of you are going through some major heartbreak. So can I just send you unconditional love? And some of you have had your heart broken by the sexual behavior of others, both as children and as adults. So can I also send a healing to that, please? If you'd like that healing, just say yes. And you're being very quiet, but I can feel you. And yes, I can hear you, just not a human kind of hearing. There we go. Just breathe for me. Just breathe. I got you. Okay, and some of you have the belief it's never going to stop. I'm always going to be sexually abused by someone, and that love is an act of sexual abuse, and you're still living with it in your marriages or still living with it in your intimate relationships, and you believe that you have to exchange sexual abuse for love. So anywhere where that's still going on, can I release it now, please? And can we show you that it's not true? It's never been true. It never will be true. That it may be all that you've experienced, just like sometimes poverty is all that you've experienced or sickness is all that you've experienced up until now, but it is not all that's available to you. There's a whole world of love available to you. There we go. Faith the size of a mustard seed moves mountain, guys. There we go. Ooh. Feel the waves of energy coming off. Yeah, someone says, I have the belief my body is dad, my body is associated. Okay, so anywhere where you have the belief that your body is mom, your body is dad, your body is a sibling, your body is a friend, that you have so much of their energy in your body that you don't have your own energy anymore, can we release their energy from your body? Can we show you the difference between your body and your dad, your body and your mom, your body and your family, your body and other people's energy? Can we show you what your body's energy feels like? There we go. Okay, that's looking a lot better. So guys, we did the Me Too Sexy free masterclass this Tuesday. If you'd like the replay of that, there's a very powerful healing that happens in there for one of our beautiful coaches around releasing fears of trusting and entering into intimate relationships because of betrayals or sexual trauma. So it's completely free. If you'd like to get that, just drop us a private message and we'll send you the link for the replay as well. And we have our emotional eating masterclass where it's also completely free. It's Christmas season. If you want to watch that, there's also a very powerful healing with our beautiful Roxanne in there around blocks to stepping into your divine weight. Okay, just so you know that that is available. We have filmed them both now, and that if you want them, you just have to ask, right? Ask and you will receive. Okay, let's give you the downloads now. You guys ready for the good juju? Okay, I have created perspective, definition, understanding for being wanted for who I am. I know the difference between being wanted and desired for me and for my soul instead of for my body. I've created perspective, definition, understanding of loving my body. I know what it feels like to have others love my body. I know what it feels like to have safe with others loving and nourishing my body. I have creator's perspective, definition, understanding of trusting my body. I have creator's perspective, definition, understanding of my body loving me. I have creator's perspective, definition, understanding that my body is alive. I know that I'm connected to my body through the creator of all that is. I know that I have a body through creator of all that is, and that it's safe for me to have a body. I've creator's perspective, definition, understanding of it being safe to be in my body, safe to have a body, safe to feel my body, and mine is the same as creator's. I've creator's perspective, definition, understanding of using my body to bring me happiness, joy, and pleasure. I know how to live without using my body to hurt myself. I know how to live without using my body to hurt others. I know how to live without armoring my body. I know how to live without constantly waiting to be attacked. I know how to be my perfect weight and protect myself from others when I need to. It's safe to be fully in my body. I know how to live without having to be in my head. I can express my body's vibrancy and be safe. I know how to live without selling my body and be loved and be worthy of all good, financial good, emotional good, opportunities through Creator of all that is. I know how to be safe and express my sexuality. I know how to be myself and express my sexuality. I know how to shine and express my sexuality and be safe in all of these. Would you like these? I know what it feels like and how to live without thinking of dying. I know what it feels like and how to live without feeling dead. I know what it feels like to have value as a human being. I know the appropriate value and appreciate my body in the highest and best way. I know what it feels like for my body to completely support me in my health and energy. Okay. That's looking really good, guys. Who's feeling better after those downloads? Oh, I had a lot of priests in my family, and the men were the important people in the family, the connection with God. The women were just the priest's wife, not really having their own life or their own divine connection, right? Okay, so anywhere where you're believing that your gender, which is different than your sexuality, right, is blocking you from connecting to God, can we release that? Can we destroy and uncreate it now? There we go. Whoa. And can we show you that that's a lie? That you are allowed to have your own life? That your gender is just as capable of connecting to God, that all genders are equally capable of connecting to Creator? And that you no longer have to live in your own shadow or in the shadow of those old toxic religious relationships. You can give that energy back to Creator or back to your ancestors and go, it's not mine. You have to take it back. Okay, this challenge has been great. I used to be fully dissociated from my body. Thank you very much. I used to hate thinking about food, and eating was usually a bit of a chore. Yesterday was the first time in a while that I ate food and enjoyed it. I think it's because I'm more accepting of being in my body. Thank you. The belief is gone. Grateful to you. Well done. Well done for getting rid of the belief, and well done. Well done, well done, well done for actually eating food and enjoying it. One of the best things you can do is bless your food as well, guys. Really bless your food, bless your supplements. I was talking to a lady yesterday who's struggling with stage 4 cancer, and she had all these amazing supplements for her nutritionist, and she hadn't blessed them and she hadn't downloaded them. And she also wasn't drinking enough water. So that's another big thing about weight release, which is ironic, right? Because so much of the excess weight women carry is water weight, and we're not drinking enough water. And then, of course, we're holding on to that old toxic water inside of us. So bless the water, bless the food. And yeah, 100%. I love to see you guys thriving. I love to see you guys doing well. I couldn't be more grateful to be here with you. You're my girls. You're my chosen people. And I'm so blessed, like deeply, profoundly blessed to have you in my life. I couldn't be more grateful to have such exceptional healers and light workers here with me, clearing our stuff together. Okay, guys, let's do our closing prayer. I love you so much. If you'd like to participate in more challenges and be aware of when they're happening, etc., and when they're all going on, pop over to the free Facebook group. It's called Manifesting Health, and we'll get you all set up, and then you'll have access to all the challenges and know exactly what's happening and when it's happening, because that's where my little team is. As it grows, we'll be able to manage more social media stuff, but right now my little team is barely keeping a a grip on all the Facebook stuff. And we're going to expand out into YouTube, don't worry, but fill the space you're in, right? We're really present in the Facebook group. So if you'd like to connect more, come and join us at the Facebook group. It's completely free, and we run a lot of challenges, and we connect on a regular basis for energy readings. And yeah, all the events and stuff are organized on there, and there's always my team keeping an eye on it as well as me. I love you guys so much. I'll see you soon. Oh, closing prayer, guys. Oh, great spirit, Father Sky, Mother Earth, the winds, the waters, my father, my mother, Atanaha, all that is. We thank you for our lives, and we thank you for these good people. We thank you for all that we are and all that we are to become. We dedicate our time spent together and our relationships with one another to you. We ask that our suffering be ended, that our pain be lifted to the love and to the peace that lay beyond. Aho, Amen, Namaste.